Just with Indiana, what are the challenges they present? And I think this is a game that has a chance to be really fast-paced. So how important will it be to get back on defense in a game like this?
Yeah, very dynamic offense. Halliburton, McConnell off the bench. I think they even played faster when McConnell comes into the game. Number one in kick-aheads. Those guys do a great job, so our full court pressure's got to be big, not allowing easy kick-aheads. Allows them to create a lot of advantages with open space, allows Matherin to succeed, Siakam succeed in that, and then pick and roll defense is huge. Big time downhill team. They got bigs that can, pick and pop and shoot the ball well from there. They got guards that can get downhill with McConnell, Halliburton, Matherin, but they got dynamic rollers too. So speed of the game is going to be a big priority tonight. We talk about our 3 Ps. Offensively, it's the same thing on the defensive side. How do we crush their paint presence, in the half court, but it really starts with their pace, factor at the beginning of the possessions. We get quality possessions on offense, take care of the ball, have that full court pressure to slow them down, and then try to operate in the half court against our defense.
Hey, Coach, today is our Grizzlies Kids Run the Show Day. So I have a couple of kids here, and one of them had a question. Philip had a question
welcome.
for you.
My name is Philip Butler from Soulsville Charter School, and I want to know, does the athletes practice based on who they're going against?
Yeah, that's an awesome question. We spend a lot of time prioritizing, us, our identity, our standards every single day. When we have opportunities the day before the game or the morning of a game, we'll usually go up against their actions, their tendencies, talk about our opponents. So our guys do spend a lot of time with their homework, watching iPads and film, to get player tendencies and game tendencies for our opponent. And then when we come together as a team, we definitely put them in position to guard against their opposition. We put our development staff, our video staff out there in jerseys, for our guys to go up against them, knowing that, hey, I watched all this film, but now I got to put it into actual physical work. So our guys do a great job of that, whether it's day of the game or even the day before.
Hi, Taylor. How would you evaluate the team's success early in the season?
I think we've made a lot of progress. Sorry for my voice right now. We've learned a lot. I think offensively, new offensive system, points of emphasis. I think our guys are grasping it pretty well. It's just all about, finding consistency. We talked about, some things yesterday with the team after 20 games, just where there's some low-hanging fruit, where we got to get better with, consistent role change. 5 guys, playing the pace that we need. Consistent body movement, the half court or movement patterns. I think we've turned in a really good direction there, but, no matter who's in the lineup, we've got to all have 5 guys. Can't have one guy not doing it. It disrupts the flow of our offense. Taking care of the ball, is definitely a huge area of improvement for us. Defensively, I thought we've done a much better job. We're really struggling in, downhill penetration and paint penetration. We still give up a little bit too much at the rim. Luckily, the field goal percentage is pretty low. We've got to clean that up. So there's always something after the first 20 that we got to get better at. So I'm not even looking at records. We definitely dive into the analytics. We've talked to this team over the last, 2-ish months about, what we're doing well and what we got to get better at. Those themes got to, rise to the surface for us to tackle these next 20.
You obviously mentioned the Pacers' pace. They've been playing that fast for a couple of years, but they're obviously have had a bunch of injuries this year with Neesmith and Shepard out, and Nemhard's, I guess, questionable today. He's been out for a while. How are they a different cover? Obviously, because they've had to rely on Matherin and Siakam together, having a couple guys that are sort of really good ISO scorers. How are they? Are they more challenging? How are they a different cover than they've been the last couple of years they've been playing this fast?
I still think they're playing extremely fast. As I said, McConnell also doesn't get a lot of credit. I think he's a lethal player. He's an engine to their team. Obviously, Halliburton, I think, was out to start the season for a little bit. And yeah, so I think, they're not doing a whole lot of different stuff, in my opinion. I think they're maybe emphasizing the ISOs a little bit more, and the pick and roll game has been a big part of their package, the last couple of years. Obviously other guys have grown. Nemhard, whether he's able to go in or not, he's had a really good start to his career. I talk about Halliburton and McConnell a lot, but then you see Matherin's growth. The dynamic ability in transition, pick and roll, downhill, can shoot the 3 ball well. They just kind of play free-flowing offense, whatever the game dictates. They want to play fast. They want to play connected pick and roll offense to generate drive and kick opportunities, put pressure on the paint. So, every season is going to pose different challenges. Teams are guarding them a little bit different. They're a little acclimated to what they do, but we know this is going to be a tough test for us today.
Taylor, so I know the Jaren BC lineups have been kind of a staple for y'all since BC was drafted, and this year that duo has given up 98 points per 100 possessions, lower than usual, but also too their block rate has gone down compared to past years. What has allowed them to level up defensively through these first 20 games?
I mean, as you said, I mean, we've got a lot of history with those two guys in defensive, combinations. I think those guys can be very complementary, on ball defense. Obviously, even though the block rate's down, I love that the numbers are, still pretty strong defensively, in my opinion. I think our guards actually are doing a great job. I think those guys give our on-ball guys a lot more confidence. We've talked to a lot of the guards, the on-ball pressure, full court pressure, that when you have that assurance of those two guys back there that can cover for you, I think that gives them a lot of confidence. So it's still something that we're going to continue to challenge them, to be more protective of the rim. We've got to do a better job not giving up the rim frequency, like I just mentioned a moment ago. And then, we haven't switched a whole lot. Those two guys together may switch, but we haven't used them in switching, situations with our guards as much, because I love the on-ball presence that our guards have been showing the last couple of weeks. So still more to learn, and hopefully they can continue to, gravitate towards an elite, defensive combo.
I know Zach Edey's not playing today, but how much have you enjoyed having that as an option when he has been healthy, as a unique skill set? And have you seen other teams kind of scramble in how they figure out how they defend him?
Yeah, no, it's been awesome. I mean, I think he's made tremendous growth since, summer league, beginning of the season, adapting different roles. I've talked about numerous times, coming off the bench, starting, vice versa. I do see teams, changing their sub pattern at times, playing big when he's out there. We've seen sometimes teams trying to play small, and we're trying to get a feel for, as long as we're playing with our pace and our movement. I think he's adapted really well, to the style that he was playing at Purdue. We're asking him to do some different things from a spacing standpoint, playing on the perimeter a little bit more defensively and offensively. It's been great sample size. Obviously, he's been out, the little stretch here recently, but his adaptation just to the NBA game has been great. And then just seeing how other teams are going to try to match up with him, I think he's still thriving on defensive rebounding, offensive rebounding, learning the speed of the game, physicality of the game, no matter if teams are playing big or small. So far, good sample size, and still a lot more room for growth.
On the wing, Marcus seems like he's hit a little bit of a stride after some of the interruptions, and then you've also had Jalen play well. I guess, what do you make of the overall depth that you have there, and how much of a challenge is it to balance those players out with their minutes and sort of figure out where best to use them?
Yeah, it's been great to see, Marcus the last couple of games, seeing Jalen's progress over the course of the season. Definitely a lot of depth. I mean, it gives us more when you add, those two guys, with Scotty and what I've been challenging Ja with, just be point of attack defenders for us. You just got more guys that can really set a tone for our defensive pressure. And then just seeing Jalen's playmaking, improve, the decision making. I think Marcus fits really well in our principal style of offense when he's downhill, kicking out to teammates, and his unselfish nature is awesome. And obviously seeing him knocking down some shots and just playing within the offense has been great. Similar to what Jalen's doing too. So more guys that are point of attack defenders for us, and then just with how we want to play fast, I think Marcus is doing a good job, with his kick aheads and pushing the pace, and then the half court just with the movement patterns that we talk about. Having two more guys to add that depth that we're going to ask a lot on the defensive side, but also back it up on the offensive side. It just adds more for us, and trying to figure out how to get the minutes. I've told the guys I'm going to be leaning into a 10-11 man rotation. Everyone's got to be prepared. Whatever the minutes is, it's about the intensity. Don't worry about the numbers and all that stuff. You got to impact winning when you step on the floor, and the guys are doing a good job of it, as much as an adjustment as it is. Great, thanks everyone. Appreciate it.